6 games remaining, MLS regular season, 2 of those against the Columbus Crew, including this one at Sports Illustrated Stadium over the course of the weekend. Chris, appreciate you hopping on, giving me a couple minutes. This Columbus team, obviously going into the year, everyone thinks one of the best in Major League Soccer. Up until maybe the last few games within the league, you'd say the same thing there as well. Is it fair or unfair to, at this point, not to throw you under the gauntlet right away, to say what's wrong with the Crew? Because if you look at what they've done over the course of the regular season, last few games, it's not what you would normally expect from this Columbus team.
Yeah, it's a good point, Matt. Always nice to be a part of the show. I obviously we struggled on the road against Toronto. 1-1 was the final there. That's a team we should probably beat. And then we give 2 goals up in the first half to the Revolution. We get 1 back in the second half. Still can't overcome that. The key to that game is that it was at home. And over the last 2.5 years, under Wilfried Nancy, we've only lost 8 games at home in all competitions. So it was a real struggle to get over that Saturday setback. But the team's back at training this week and preparing for the weekend matchup against the Red Bulls. They are not the best team in the league right now. Do they have the best direction? I don't know. Do they have a firm direction? Absolutely. And I think that's part of the struggle for any coach in this league, is to have your philosophies executed on the field. I think Wilfried's getting some of that. He's not getting all of it. And namely, this season, the difference between this squad and last year's squad and even the 2023 squad is that defensively, we're giving up too many goals. It's too easy on the counterattack to get through the back line and find a one-on-one or a 2v1 situation where you can score. So we're left chasing the game, just the way we were on Saturday night against the Revolution.
You know, I had to, and you probably did the same thing because we recorded this on the other side with you talking to me for your show. I'm sure you took a peek at it as well. Red Bull going into the weekend in 9th. I couldn't believe when I rechecked the standings before you and I started recording today, Columbus is in 7th. That doesn't even sound like it makes sense, right? I mean, in so many ways. And I'm sure with training and the coaching staff, there's probably a little bit of head scratching. Like, how did we go from we might be a supporter shield team to now 6 games remaining, we're all the way down in 7th, and all of a sudden fighting to stay out of the wild card game?
Yeah, and you keep in mind that Miami still got 2 or 3 games in hand on the rest of us, and that's really tough. Now, I will note that New York City game we were supposed to play in August has been moved to September 17th, and so we do have that extra game against a couple of the teams that are at the top of the table. But all that said, we spent the majority of the summer in 4th place in the league. I know we had the Leagues Cup break. I know we had an international break as well, but the club got somewhat comfortable in that space, knowing that you could make the right move with a couple of victories and really threaten Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and then eventually Miami when they catch up to everyone. I think the big disappointment is that we just have not been able to get the points out of the last few games that we've hoped for. Orlando manhandled us a bit and was able to get their victory at Lower.com Field. We have to go to their place. That's a tough team to play. I know you know that, although the Red Bulls got past Orlando in the playoffs last year. So, the road out is not easy. And every team we face, with all due respect, is below us in the standings. The casual fan is going to say, it may not be a marked up win, but it should be a win. And Wilfried Nancy and the team have said none of these are easy at this point in the season.
How about you talk about defensive struggles a little bit, but Columbus during the transfer window tried to bolster things in the attack with Abu Ali being signed. What does he offer for this team going forward as a different attacking option?
Well, let's talk about the defense first of all. And it's always been a part of team defense that we're scoring goals at the other end of the field. And that takes the pressure off of Patrick Schulte and the rest of the defenders. But, when we don't have the ball, everyone's on defense. And I think one of the things that's come from our learning, and by the way, it's one of the ways the Red Bulls beat us in the playoffs last year, is that once you turn the ball over, a hopeful clearance, and you got a runner up there who can run onto the ball, and now you create this transition, and Columbus has not been able to gather themselves. You made Rudy Camacho, who, by the way, is in his young 30s, look like an old man at times last year. He's not an old man. He's a good athlete, and he's done well for Wilfried Nancy under his guidance in Montreal and Columbus. We've been without Rudy Camacho all year long. He's been injured, unfortunately, had to have surgery. Sean Zawatsky becomes the center back, so he's moved out of the midfield. It's okay. We've had a couple of plugins in midfield, including Dylan Chambeau, who's just bloomed under the guidance of Wilfried Nancy and playing alongside Darlington Nagbe. Um, but we still are not able at times to catch that transition, to catch that counterattack and deny the opportunity at goal. If we're going to depend on goal scoring without Cucho Hernandez and Christian Ramirez, we're going to do it with Diego Rossi, a young Jason Russell Rowe, who's still only 22 years old, Max Arston, who's come into his own as a winger, and the addition of Ibrahim Aliyu. Dylan Chambeau's got 7 or 8 assists, but he's only got like one goal in regular season play. So he's not been that answer as an attacking midfielder. We bring in Wessam Abu Ali from Al Ali over in the Egyptian Premier League. The guy is a goal scorer, but he's a true number 9 in the sense that he's got a big physical presence. He's waiting for service in. We haven't had a target forward to serve into in several years. I mean, we didn't even do it with Cucho. Cucho was all of 5'7" if he was wearing platform shoes. So putting the ball in between, two big center backs from the Red Bulls is not going to do anything for us with Cucho. And it's really all about timing and chemistry. I'm not sure that Wessam Abu Ali is going to have that much time in these remaining weeks to get that chemistry on service from the flanks. We'll have to wait and see. Can he do it alone or can he do it in combination with Daniel Gazdag and Diego Rossi? Sure, I think he can. At least he'll attract attention and make it difficult for the opponents.
How different are things based on what we saw last week for Columbus when Darlington Nagbe is not in the lineup, which he wasn't this past weekend. I don't know where he stands this week, and I'm not asking you to even disclose that, Chris. If you know, it's a different team, though, right? To us, when I say us, my partner Steve and I, Steve Jolly, we always talk about, to me, Darlington Nagbe is one of, if not the best 6 this league has ever seen.
Doc, it's a great question, and you're absolutely right. I think if fans had lulled themselves to sleep watching Darlington work these last few years, they've been reminded in the last 2 weeks, games where we could not have his services because of injury, just how important he is in the midfield. Holding up the ball, holding up play, finding distribution spots. He's the most accurate passer in the league. He's not knocking 25-yard passes to the attacking front line. He is simply keeping the ball under control and keeping play in check for the black and gold. And in that, he is a vital part of what we do. And I can only hope that he's back this week. He really was targeted during League's Cup by the Liga MX teams. And he went down once and didn't get up as quickly as he normally did, but he played out the time that he had in that third match and really felt awful for him because he takes a lot of knocks as the most fouled player in Major League Soccer history.
Chris, you and I are going to do this in a couple of weeks. The 2 teams will finish in Columbus. When we do that, I will expect that you do the interview with the guitar that is over your shoulder.
Okay, you got it.
Appreciate it, bud. You're the best.
Thanks, Doc. Thank you, buddy.